So now we are just adding some much more tags, right? To in continuation with the HTML basic intro. Now we are just adding some much more tags. So we can understand that much more other tags as well, right? So earlier days, it was not very much segregated and separated before HTML file. So you don't have any such separate tags for your email or maybe separate tag for what I can say, especially for date and time, or there are some others like that. Correct. Another thing is for just doing that validation, right? Do you wanted to make this particular field as a mandatory? So we also got that there is a one more required attribute is called as a required. So you can just make it as a required as a field. Okay. So these are there are a many more other tags has been introduced into an HTML that is also we'll look into it. But as of now, you can understand the type as the email, right? Type as a date and time also we can have, correct? Type as in we also have a type, I guess I will check it. I guess if I'm not sure it as an image also we have. So we will just look into it, correct? So like that, you can also have a drop downs. Okay, so we will see how you can create a drop down also. As of now, we have just seen it, some of the basics related to what I can say, the list which we are talking about. Correct. So in the list, I have already given it to you how you can create that list, right? Ordered, unordered. There are a multiple different types of lists you can understand it. So this is the way you can. These are the unordered list, right? Ordered list, you will use that OL. Okay. So unordered list, this is the way you can specify if you wanted to display in such a way, bullet point, something you can say. Ordered list, you can just use it. Well, now, if you wanted to see href and images, so HTML images are very important. Correct. So you can just click on any particular tag it here, or you can say the link, and you will get that how you can display the images. So this images you need to specify, source you need to specify, right? How it will looks like, or this is the image, right? If you wanted to change the image, you can change it. So image is the way you can just specify. So image tag does not have any closing tags here, right? Only two required attributes, right? One is a SRC, means where you can specify the path of the image. ALT specify the alternate text for the image here. So that is two things you need to just check it in, right? So if you wanted to just display an image, right? Here we have just display. So any text you are displaying here, girl in the jacket. So this particular alternate text you can just see, correct? If you are just changing this JPG, I have one more. If you are just seeing, adding any other image here, so you can give that image path. Either it is absolute or relative path, right? If you are using displaying any image, you can just specify into with the help of source and this image path, right? So you can just give a relative path. Now these are some additional attributes. What is the width and height? So you are just doing some, you can say the pixels. So you can also just do that. So you can just check that height. And if you are putting this image and giving some here and there position you wanted to change it, then you can use extra padding, or maybe you can give that space from left hand side and you can manage the space of them. So as of now, it is just, you will see it is a completely at left hand side corner, correct? But if you wanted to add it, or if you wanted to put it somewhere else, so accordingly, you can also put this image inside the table, right? So the way you wanted to display, right, and where in which position you wanted to display. So that is you need to specify properly, right? For that, maybe you can use some padding, you can use some spacing, you can use the table, you can use the many such other things, right? Because this page should look like very fancy, right? It should not be like very scattered. Or, it is not very, people are not feeling good about the page. So this is very important. So image is now if you wanted to use this HTML and save it also, I can just tell you that how you can. So I also have that Notepad plus plus with me. This is one of the another editor here. You can also use this is my Notepad plus plus. I'm just opening here. I will say. So if this image is not available into the same path, I'm just saying it here. Let's say save as. So I will save as a .html, right? So into a downloads folder, I'm saving it, right? All file. Here you can say test.html. Now, this file you have just saved it. If you will just see, go and check into a downloads. So in downloads, you can come up here and you can just see test.html. You can just directly click here and you will see the pages looks like this one. Girl in the jet, right? Because this is alternative text we have just provided here. But this particular image is not available. Whatever image, that's why we are not able to display the image. But if I will just give the proper path and name of the path of details of this path of any particular image. So let me just give any image which is already available into my downloads folder. So I have this, correct? So I have there is one image name, something we called as a oops.jpg. So I have just save it right here. I'm just changing this as a 200 control S. Now I have saved it and I will come up here and I will refresh this page. So you see this image is getting displayed here. Okay. So this is the way simple things for each and every tag you need to just. Now we will see the href. So href is nothing but the links you have seen it, right? And then whatever text you are displaying, maybe many such times in every page you are seeing some links, form, right? So this is basically a HTML links, hrefs, whatever we call it. So any point of time, if you wanted to just display, correct? So this HTML tag defined as a hyperlink is nothing but a href. And you can specify URL and whatever, what we can say, any particular text you wanted to display, you can just use the href. So href is any point of time you wanted to display, you can display the href. Right. So this is the way you can just click on here and you can just come. So in W3C school, this is a W3C school URL which we have given. And here we have this is the visit W3C school. You can change this name here, right? Visit learning school. Correct. So you see this details text is getting changing. You can also, this is from the inside the paragraph you have created. You can also create a multiple hrefs also. correct? So here you can say HTTPS Google. You can just say Google search. Like that. So this is the way you can just create a multiple aspects also. Okay. So it depends how you wanted to display your page and how you wanted to process the page. So simple page and simple text you need to understand it. Okay. Form we have already discussed one more time. I will just try to explain to you what are the details about the form. Right? Table we have discussed, correct? Images we have discussed, heading we have discussed, correct? There is HTML forms. So HTML forms, you need to have input types. There are a multiple input types. Actually, all the input data, you will take it into a form. So this is, you need to understand how you are taking up. Right? So try it. So input type, text, ID, name, and value is John. So value is means if you wanted to give any default value, then also you can give. So the value is John is basically for nothing but a default value. Form action means whenever you are submitting a form, it will go to this particularly action page, you can say underscore page dot php. So when we are submitting a form, it will go into any particular, you can say, the server part. Correct. So the idea is when you are submitting a form at this moment, where this data will go. Correct. So you need to specify all the details where this data will go. Correct. On what is the, generally, this is nothing but if you are connecting with any particular, what we can call as backend applications, it is nothing but representing to your request manager. Okay. So the default value, if you are just changing the default values, so this is a nothing but your, and this input type submit is nothing but there is a button you will see, right? And you can also, so there is a slightly difference between your button and that input type as a submit. Input type submit, generally you will give it the form so that when you are submitting any, how you will submit the form. So once you will click submit and click on the submit, this form will be getting submitted. So in this scenario, if you will submit this form, the data will go to action page.php. So where this page is available, that is also available on this same site on the W3C school in one places. So it will go and route to a action page.php. You see the submitted data form like this. Okay. So this is the way you are submitting this data, sending the data from your front end to a backend. So there is a multiple different input types and like that. So action is very important where you wanted to send the details, right? So that is, you need to specify part. Apart from that, earlier we have used that what we can say different table data and table. You can also use the label, right? So you can use the label and you can use the BR tag, right? For break line. So any point of time you see first name BR, right? If you wanted to just put, don't put, wanted to put anything into the same line, you can use a BR tag, right? Then again, you just specify, then you can use BR. So it will come to the next line. So that's why this BR tag also you can use it, right? If you don't want it to put it into any other table format or something like that, so you can use. So label is something you wanted to display. So let's say if I will remove this, so this enter the first name and last name. In that scenario, first name like this, it will looks like that. Correct. So in such a way, you can use a multiple other tags also, right? So form is very important element. You need to understand what are the different input types. Some of the input types which we have introduced, you can say input type text, password. These are very important. It was earlier there with earlier here. You can say before HTML5. But after that, many such other input types has been introduced into a HTML5. So input type as a checkbox, button, right? Date and time, file. If you wanted to upload the file, you can just also email. Input type as an image, right? That's why I was telling you that there are many such input type we got it, right? We also have input type as a button, right? So this button, and you can perform some option action like that. Simple button if you wanted to hide or close or anything you wanted to do it. Okay. So this is very important here. If you, let's say, if you wanted to use the input type as well. So in the same, this is we have used and we have discussed with the help of our table. Here we have seen it with the help of no. You can also see upload the file. Okay. You see, so many such places you have seen for resume upload and all these things. You can also click and choose, and you can then select the file. So these some of these facilities were not there earlier. So you say it's a very simple to giving this kind of an uploading a file, or there are a different text, images, date and time. Otherwise, people were using a different frameworks like Dojo and others, providing this kind of a facility. Also, you can see for a date and time. That is very important because you also need to understand how we can give a date and time. Correct? So you can also just so, and these are type is nothing but the attribute for this input type. Name, value, ID, correct? This is nothing but this one. And date. Name is nothing but. You see, so you will have this two date pickers. So it's a very simple to develop this simple. As of now, we are not adding any colors or everything. That is, we use CSS, right? So you can use a different CSS also for making this page is very fancy, different colors, right? Font, or maybe if you wanted to do something into this page for very looks like a very fancy and very good. You see, this run button is really looks like good, correct? Right? Different colors here you see. So these are the we can just make it into a proper way so that that alignment is really good, your colors are really good, your font size are really good. So this is we need to take care it. So this is the way you can just try and understand how you can make that simple static site or static page, how you can develop it.